Hello everyone! For those that are new here, welcome to my modded 1.19 Let's Play, and for returning viewers, welcome back! Last episode we worked on making this to-do list and a lot of stuff on there still need to be done. We need to gather leather, iron, make the village like us, and decorate the house. As you can see, I've already decorated a little bit, but as you can probably also see, a lot of it still kind of looks like a poop. Especially the kitchen. But that is not our priority. First things first on the to-do list will be gathering the leather and gathering iron. But of course, we had some unwanted visitors again, so I grabbed my dogs and had to go to battle. I am honestly so lucky to have these dogs because I barely had to do anything, and before I knew it, the pillagers were no longer. Thank you, dogs. Let's also not forget to get rid of our bad omen since we are actually villager owners now. I decided I wanted to try making an iron golem farm. I had never ever done that before in my entire Minecraft life, so this was a pretty exciting moment for me. Iron golem farms tend to be pretty big, so this felt like the perfect spot. But before I could actually get to building, I needed to make sure that there were no more trees around and that the land was also completely flat. So the next few hours of my Minecraft life were dedicated to getting rid of all of the birch trees and making sure everything, yes, literally everything around here was flat, using lots and lots of dirt. I followed a tutorial to make this, by the way, so I will place a linky to that in the description down below. To make this iron golem farm, I had to dig a pit that was 9 by 9 and I was 2 blocks deep, and then place water in all 4 corners. Next up, around the middle corner, we need to have 8 open fences, like so. And then next up, what you have to do, it's a little bit annoying, but you have to dig 30 blocks down, and it has to be a 3 by 3. Once you have made your 30 block down drop, you get to make a little room where you can place your chest and then also your exit. Now for the actual kill iron golem part, you need to place 9 signs. You don't have to put anything on them, but you can if you want to. And then on top of those 9 signs, you just need to add 1 source of lava. It also wouldn't be the Amber Let's Play episode without death. Yes, this happened. I'm embarrassed. We don't want to talk about it. To make an iron golem farm work, you need to have 3 villagers. So I went to a nearby village and gathered 3 very willing victims. Luckily, Minecraft Comes Alive makes it pretty easy to lure villagers back home. So I did that and I made them a safe little home point so I could make them stay here forever and ever. Okay, no, I actually lied. We have to dig 7 blocks down and then make their forever home. In said forever home, you need to place 3 beds for the 3 villagers, 2 slabs, and a trapdoor, and that's it. And then you need to make a little place where a zombie will be staying inside of a boat. The villagers will be terrified the entire time, but that is precisely why iron golems will be spawning. Next up, I push all the villagers down and set their location to home. And then for the villager part, we're done here. Finally, this ugly box of an old house gets to go. I'm a very chaotic person, so now I'm returning to the iron golem part of the whole farm, finally placing the hoppers and the lava, and laddering all the way up and closing it off with a trapdoor. Every now and then I try to talk to my future husband and he's giving me such mixed signals, like he calls me a show-off, but then when I go to tell him a story or a joke, he says it's the best he has ever heard. Like, come on man, be consistent. I decided to give him some gold as a gift and he really liked that, but then when I went in for the hug, he told me, "Ew, get off me, you have disgusting germs." So we still have lots of work to do. Anyway, while I'm handling the constant rejection, I decide to get myself a little horsey. It took me a decent amount of tries, but we finally have a little horse to take home. It was time to do a few more slight little minor decorations in our village because the village isn't looking great so far. So I decided to add a little cute fence, a little cute gate to our animal pen, and also light up the area because I noticed lots and lots of mobs were spawning and I wasn't always in the mood to go sleep the second darkness hit. And then to finish off our farm, it was time to trap a zombie. And while I was fighting for my life, I noticed our first iron golem actually spawned, so the farm works. However, my hopper system didn't work because I just randomly placed them around, not really connecting them, so I had to completely redo that real quick. And then for some reason, I jumped into the lava. I don't even know what I thought. And well, as you know, lava hurts and burns and kills. So yeah, rest in peace, the Amber, part 1,000,000. At this point, the iron farm should have technically been completely finished, so I decided to shift my focus onto making a little stable for our newfound horse, which, by the way, feel free to let me know if you have some cute name suggestions for it. I've already received tons and tons of nice comments for name suggestions for the dogs, parrots, and cats, so if you want, let me know if you have some cute horse names, please. The stable is pretty small, but that's exactly what I wanted because I wanted it to be close to my house and easy and accessible. So I hope you guys like it. This is what we ended up doing. It's quite simple, but I like it. I also want to showcase to you guys that I had a lot of issues with the iron golem farm where I had to get iron golems that randomly spawned back into the pit. So there was still a lot of work to do as it was clearly not functional yet. To decompress from all the farm issues, I built this little corner in our house using some barrels. I also placed down a little flowering pot and then some trapdoors, and I finished it off with a little bush. Oh, would you guys like to see another clown moment? Yeah, I was pretty sad about it too. Luckily, it was a pretty easy fix and we got our horsey in the stable nice and safe. And of course, as always, added some of those leaves, some vines, and even some more fences, so we could now finally say that the stable is finished. And after literal days of tinkering at this iron farm, it finally works. I'm so relieved. So it is now time to start building something on top of this because this pit is not it. So let's try to find a nice color palette to go with. This build will be quite big, so I don't want to just stick with one base block to build with and then like a different one for the roof. I want it to kind of be a little textured. I want it to be giving something. So maybe birch and cut sandstone could be it. Or what if we take some birch and then strip it? But like everywhere, like, you know, in mixture. Let's see. Stop. Yes, this is it. Now with some spruce, let's strip it. Some redwood. And then finally some leaves. Okay, yes, we're using this color palette. It looks so good. Now that I've decided what blocks I'm going to use, I want to create a large chest filled with all my building materials so it doesn't clog up my inventory at all times. This will also be the biggest build yet, so we'll definitely be needing the space. I settled on these glass panes that use light blue dye because, I don't know, I thought they looked cute. So we go ahead and craft those and add them into the chest. Now finally some more redwood and then we can get this build started. So I start off by making like the front part of the build. I use the same color palette that I just showed you guys. It is literally, I think, my favorite I've ever made, created, built. So we go ahead and add in some walls. It's pretty basic, but the build does have to be quite big as to cover everything up. And let me tell you guys, I have never made a build this big completely with my own brain, like, you know, not using a reference image. So this was a wild one. It took me about 3 hours to get it finished, and I'm very proud. I didn't want it to just be a box, so here you can see me adding some little bits that peek out. I think they look very, very nice. It was not too hard, actually. I thought roofing it was going to be the worst struggle of my life, but I managed. I also wanted to cover up this little hole, the way, you know, to go into the farm to collect your iron. So we had to incorporate that in the build. Here you can see the front of the build a little bit, and it has like an extra small roof area that peeks out to give it, again, a little bit of dimension. And then it was time to actually start the roof of like the big portion of the build. And it was very tall, as you can see, because I wanted to kind of be an A-frame. But because the build is so wide, it literally looked very clownish. And I also made it uneven. Oops. So we had to completely demolish that and voila, make it even. During building this, every now and then iron golems would start spawning outside of the pit because I don't know why. I actually don't know why. When the build is finished, it doesn't happen anymore. But I had to like lure them and block up and kill them without getting hurt myself. Pretty obnoxious, but it only happened if I built over the pit and not completely finished, like, you know, in the mid of roofing. But, you know, again, we managed to get that figured out when the roof was done. Unfortunately, first time around, the roof ended up looking incredibly awful. Let me show you. Blech. So, had to fix that and make it a little bit smaller and give it 2 little windows. Way better. Then it was already time to start decorating the outside of the house. I mean, to call this decorating, it's like giving it some finishing touches. So I'm using some stairs, using trap doors, and then also some signs for all around the building where it felt a little bit empty. The windows also looked very naked, so we finished that off with some fences, slabs, and some stairs. We added some trapdoors to the windows, and then it was time to make the surrounding areas look way more pretty, cottagecore, and, you know, natural. Here you can see me adding some vines. I'm using the Mizuno sit pack again, by the way. If you're seeing anything that doesn't look vanilla Minecraft, that's why it's all a sit pack. And now it is time to add some leaves because I love those. And then I also built this cute little barrel wagon that I saw on Pinterest while looking up Minecraft outside decor because this area was still looking pretty plain. So I don't know. Felt like this was a cute little way to spice the outside up beyond just placing, you know, like flowers and leaves. And then I add a little lantern to that because, you know, no more mobs, please. I'm tired of fighting. I wanted our iron golem farm build not just to be a little cover-up, but also a blacksmith. So we needed an anvil, a grindstone, and 2 blast furnaces to do so. I added an extra finishing touch by using this blacksmith sign. Like, oh, it's just perfect, so beautiful, and really gives it that extra bit of oomph. Perfect. I felt like that front area was a little bit too empty looking to my liking, so placed some random blocks and even put in some iron blocks, which is easy for us to get now that we have this fully functioning farm. So I like that. It's a little bit symbolic as to what this building is made for, you know? Add some more trapdoors and a little flowering pot, and then this is completely finished. Now on to the finishing touches for the front of our build, and with the lantern, it is beautiful. I'm honestly so proud. I know this is probably like not special to actual builders, but I've never built something as beautiful as this, in my own opinion. Please don't come for me. Please don't say mean things. But yeah, this is what it looks like. I hope you like it. I most certainly do. The inside is still all undecorated. I also don't really know how much I can do on the inside without breaking the farm, so that'll be for another episode when we figure that out. One of my villagers, Monica, is a librarian, and her trade was a Silk Touch enchanted book. I want it really badly, but I do not yet have 8 emeralds, so I tried to trade with our future husband, who asks for 18 wool for 1 emerald. 18 wool. Luckily, I have some extra wool still left because I had been shearing our sheep, so I can already trade for 2 emeralds, but again, I need 8, so that it's not going to be enough. Monica took 24 paper for emeralds, so I managed to do a little bit of that too. And then on to shearing sheep it was, so I could keep on going back and forth between shearing and trading. I also found some time to actually talk to our future husband, who at this point actually really liked me. He was still giving kind of, you know, those mixed reactions, but he actually always likes my jokes. And this time around, he was a-okay with some flirting, and he hated my kissing. Luckily, he warmed up to it, and now he thinks he loves me. Finally, after days and days of trading, I could get that Silk Touch book. Thank you so much, Monica, for your services. All that trading got me a lot of hearts with Vitoldas, so I decided to test my luck and make a bouquet. So, here's how that went. I said, hello, Vitoldas, here's a little gift, a flower bouquet, and he said, I'm glad that you feel the same way. So, we're basically dating now. Now that our iron golem farm is producing way more iron than I could ever use up myself, like, hello, look at this beauty. It was time that I armored up my village. I know we only have a few villagers, but it is very important to me that they stay safe. These are our starting villagers. I don't even know if this counts as a proper village yet, but it does in my heart. So let's get them protected so no one can do them any harm. Especially you, Vitoldas. I know you're just roaming around as a shepherd, minding your business, but one day we're gonna have babies. Same for you, Monica, with that Silk Touch enchanted book. Please, no one ever harm Monica. And then, of course, we must make sure that the guard is well protected when he goes out to fight all the bad guys for us. Let's take a look at our to-do list. So, the stable for our horsey, we've done that. Make the village like you, well, kind of, but still some progress to be done. Decorating the house, also still got some work to do. The pathing could be prettier, I guess. And then now we have another task, being decorate the inside of the blacksmith. And maybe, just maybe, there might just be a marriage. Maybe we'll be attending a wedding next episode. Who knows? Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you all, and see you next time. Bye!